In today's video, we're going to be going over how to get Rell coins and Roy and Shindo life. So this is going to be a combination of my last couple of videos, and we're going to be putting it into one. So it's going to be the ultimate guide for both of these. But before we get into that, make sure to drop a like and drop a sub. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe. Let's get to the video. So we're first going to cover Rell coins. Now there's a few ways of doing this, but obviously the most obvious one is codes. But I'm sure you've already entered them in. But if you haven't, the codes are on the screen, so just enter those in. I'm not sure if they've expired yet. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think he's expired them yet, but that could be coming soon. So definitely make sure you enter them before he does that. So now let's get into the nitty and gritty on exactly how to get these Rell coins. So the first thing is going to be open world. This is pretty much the most easiest way to get Rell coins right now. Obviously open world is pretty obvious. You get about 300 to 400 Rell coins. It's quite a grind, and I'm pretty sure you go in there, you switch to Kage, and you kind of just AFK. It's almost like the AFK room, but just for Rell coins instead, since you don't do much in open world except kind of just sit there and wait for Rell coins. It's kind of like a timely thing, but it is currently the best method to get Rell coins, the quickest and the most easiest method out of all of the methods we're going to talk about today. So that's going to be open world for Rell coins. Let's go on to the next one. This is going to be dungeon. Now dungeon is a little buggy right now, so just please do keep that in mind. If you do dungeon, you sometimes get your rewards. They kind of need to fix it, but hopefully they'll fix it sometime soon. But dungeon is pretty good because you can also get game passes as well. You do get a good amount of Rell coins, but you do need some AoE abilities like snake mode or Shindai Rengoku, you know, some of those abilities. There are of course a bunch of other abilities, but really you're looking for abilities that have a bunch of AoE capabilities, and that should definitely help you out. And keep in mind that I would not do this on hard difficulty because it's very difficult. I would just do it on normal. It's a little tempting to do this on a harder difficulty, but given just how difficult this is and just the difficulty in general, it's be wise just to do this on normal difficulty. If you can do it on hard difficulty, you're gonna need to be like a max level player or just a very high ranker player to do that. But if you can, definitely do it if you can, but only if you can. So you're also gonna want to grab some other players if you can. I'm pretty sure you can do a team with this if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong on that. But you're obviously going to want to do that, and there's also some other certain game modes that give you a little bit of Rell coins. Just kind of browse through them and kind of see which one you kind of have fun with, because there is open world, there is dungeon, but if you find a game mode that gives some Rell coins that is fun, that's going to be a benefit as well. So the next one and the final one I'm going to talk about is going to be the Rell Bloodline. Now this one's going to be kind of hard to do because the Bloodline is, I think, 1 out of 20,000 if I'm not mistaken. So this one's going to be a little bit difficult, but if you can get the Rell Bloodline, you can earn about 10 to 20,000 Rell coins a day or every 3 hours. It's on a cooldown. I don't remember the exact cooldown, but it's between that point. So you can potentially earn 30 to 60, maybe even 80,000 Rell coins in a single day from the Rell Bloodline. Of course, this is a hard one to recommend because it is very difficult to get, but if you can get the Rell Bloodline, and if you already have it, definitely take advantage of the Rell coins that you do get from the Rell Bloodline because it's very overpowered if you use it a lot. Kind of like the ability with like dungeon. If you can run that in hard difficulty, you can get a lot of rewards. So that's kind of the same thing. The last thing I'm going to recommend is the 2x Rell Game Pass, Rell coin Game Pass. Very helpful. You don't need to get it, but if you do have it, it will certainly help. Now let's talk about Roy. So Roy is it's a lot more easier to get than Rell coins in my opinion. So with Roy, there's one best way, and this is the best way I think in the entire game right now, although it's kind of the most repetitious way in my opinion because you're not really doing anything, but this is going to be the AFK room. Now the AFK room is pretty self-explanatory. You sit there and you pretty much just get Roy. So the good thing about this one is that while you're kind of sitting there, I think you get about maybe 20,000 Roy, maybe 10,000 Roy every 60 seconds or something like that. I forgot, or maybe 120 seconds. I forgot the exact cooldown it is on it, but if you do have the 2x storage game pass, it's going to be very helpful as well. So make sure you have that 2x storage game pass. Very essential, but if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. You can still get a good amount of Roy, but you won't be getting as much Roy. As you know, game passes very much help, but if you don't have them, it is what it is. Just kind of use the methods I'm talking about without the game passes. So AFK room, also I would recommend doing this overnight, so you're probably going to need an auto clicker so it doesn't go AFK. So you know, you have to figure that on your own. So you know, get an AFK clicker and just sit in the AFK room and get the Roy. So that's gonna be it for AFK room. Let's go into another one that's a little more active. This is gonna be green scroll missions. So now this is kind of tailored towards somebody who's a little bit lower level, maybe level 200 to 500, because you're not gonna be running really anything else right now except AFK room, of course. But green scroll missions are gonna be kind of bread and butter right now. So green scroll missions are pretty self-explanatory. You go in, you do the mission, you get Roy. it does scale up to the level you are. So if you are level 1000, this still could be a pretty viable method to get Roy, especially if you're looking for something a little bit less repetitious. So you know, something a little bit less, you know, same thing as like AFK room, a little bit less like boss missions. And if you know, this could be a little bit more fun. So you know, if you want to run this a little bit more, this could be a little bit more fun to do. But green scroll missions is easily a really good method, and I think you get around 80,000 Roy if I'm not mistaken if you are level 1000. So it does scale up. Just keep that in mind. For the next methods, it's going to be boss missions, and just a quick note, we will be ranking all of the methods at the end of the video, so just keep that in mind. For boss missions, this is currently the best way in the entire game. Boss missions are giving 100 to 200k Roy. Of course, you're going to need a couple of bloodlines to do this. You're going to need Shadow, you're going to need Apollo Sand. This makes it so much more easier. While it's not essential, it makes life a lot easier doing these boss missions. I also recommend going into a private server, as that does help a lot, so definitely go into a private server. Definitely, you know, private servers are pretty easy to get because you can just, you know, they're pretty much just all around the place. The codes are everywhere. So grab a private server and go to Mount Mubuku if that's correct, and just grind Roy, because Mount Mubuku with the toads is currently the best way to get Roy with the boss mission. So make sure you got the right bloodlines. If you got that, you got the private server, you got the right map, you can get tons of Roy, and is one I really recommend grinding because it is easily the best one out of all of them. So the last one I'm going to talk, well, not the last one, but the almost last one I'm going to talk about is going to be game mode. So a lot of other game modes give a certain amount of Roy. Now I would just kind of like with the Rell coins, I would kind of just browse around them, see which one's fun. If you can have fun playing some of these game modes, you can earn a little bit of Roy. That's kind of two birds with one stone situation, so that could be very helpful. So definitely look through the game modes, see which ones are fun, and you can get a little Roy from that as well. The last method I'm going to be recommending is going to be the quest and daily missions. So these are going to, or daily, I think they're called daily quests or daily missions. I forgot exactly what they're called, but you'll see what I'm saying on the screen. So basically, you can get these from just doing simple things in the game, tree jumping, you know, punching, completing missions, you know, stuff like that, and you can earn a little bit of Roy. You can also earn a little bit of Roy just from doing a compilation of them, so you can earn around 20 to 30,000 if you do a certain amount of them, so that can be very good. And also the next one that's kind of busted is main missions. These can give you around 100 to 200k or even more if you do all of them, but the busted thing about this is that if you have most of all the bloodlines unlocked and you've got the max, you can automatically get a free 200k Roy from just claiming these, because it's already going to claim that it's maxed anyway, so you can get a free 200k Roy. So definitely take advantage of this. I don't see many people talking about this, so please definitely take advantage of this overpowered method, because it's a free 200k Roy. You can't, it's literally free, you can't do anything else, you know, it's free. It also does do elements too, so if you have both of these max and you got all of them, this is kind of busted, you know, it's kind of busted. So definitely do that. And as for the ranking, Rell coins, it goes open world, codes, dungeon, certain game modes, and then Rell bloodline. Of course, I'm kind of putting the Rell bloodline last because it's so hard to get, but Rell bloodline would probably go to the number 1, but given how hard it is to get, I'm putting it at the lower tier. For the Roy, it's going to be the AFK room, easily the best method right now because it's just so easy. Boss missions, green scroll missions, game modes, and the both daily and main missions. So that's going to be all the ways to get Rell coins and Roy in Shindo life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and drop a sub, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.